in which case I will call the meeting to order. It is 7:35.
Well, we have a quorum.
There we are. And I see no other members of the public, so we'll have no public participation. Shall we have a motion to approve the minutes from January 31st?
I will motion the approval, acceptance.
Seconded. Robin?
Yes.
Deanna? Yes. Done. Approved. Thank you. Lily might join us at some point also, because I still have dangling over our heads the December 18 minutes. So she said she might pop in as a member of the public or a former member of this committee so that we can have quorum to approve those minutes.
Okay.
But she might join us at some point during this meeting. I think as a former subcommittee member, that's.
I actually did look at them, and well, I can't speak to like 100% accuracy. I don't find anything that's problematic to say as a meeting. So,
well, if she doesn't show up, then let's add that as a matter not anticipated at the very end of the meeting. Yeah. Since I did ask her to join, I would feel badly if you and I went ahead and approved it before she got here. Cool. All right. So our big topic area is around events.
Yes.
There are a couple of things upcoming in the month of March, and then we can talk about other things in the plan. So one that I sort of threw together a little bit quickly is the, we talked about the electric vehicle, ask a neighbor sort of.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit. Yeah.
So I found, I've got about like 5, I think, folks who had been at the EV showcase, and they have between them a good variety of vehicles. I want to make sure we didn't end up with like just a 5-pack of Teslas. So that is on March 8th at Brothers at 8:30 in the morning. I put up some flyers, put up a Facebook thing.
I would say I saw them. I said, yeah, I saw that you posted it.
Yeah. I'll post it again in another day or two if you want to share it out. I mean, I think it's really only relevant to folks who are nearby, and it's on a weekday morning, so it's, yeah, people join if they happen to be nearby and free and want to. I'm curious whether anyone will come, and if they don't,
I have virtually no experience of who's downtown on a Friday morning, so I would have no sense of the chance of the random walk by, but yeah. I think that's the point, right? That it's just, you know.
Yeah, I was looking for it to be a low-key thing and a low effort for the participants,
right?
For the neighbors that you can ask. So we'll see. You know, we can experiment with that format. So that's coming up, and then we've got STEAM night for the K-4 set. That's on March 14th. It is at 5:30 at the Galvin. Are you able and interested to join for some or all of that time?
I was just I think so. The second Thursday is when I have a client meeting, but we had one in February, so I should be able to.
Okay, great.
So yes, and that. So what time did it start? Let me reopen your email.
Starts at 5:30, I believe.
I wouldn't be able to help you set up. I would go straight from the train. So that's when the train pulls in.
Cool, that's fine. And I'm not sure who else I was gonna ask Julie if she was here, but she's not here, so I'll send her a note separately. Melissa, when I saw her yesterday, asked whether who all was coming. So I don't know if she's available. Hopefully she can join too, would be nice. I'll see. I'll send something out to the whole group and see if anyone else wanted to take some.
Some of our
6 of us in there.
Yeah, or some of our fellow members might be there as parents, right? Because that would be.
That's true.
I think maybe have kids that age.
So myself and Lily have kids that age.
Doesn't Stefan?
Oh, maybe, yeah. And then I thought Christina's kids are out of elementary school, but no. One of hers at least is still at the Dole Bear. So yeah, so various of us might be there with our kids, and then maybe we trade off shorter stints at the table if folks want to do
Right.
that. Okay, well, I will send an email around to see if folks want to be there. So I think what we're planning to do, oh, we've got the seeds.
Oh, so we have the seed. So do we want to just hand out the seeds, or do we actually want to make them flower pots? So I have seed starting soil, which actually not soil, it's a seed starting medium that I'd be happy to donate for folks if we want to just get some like and I mean, how many kids? I mean, like if we had 30 people stop by, is that a lot, or what was your
Yeah.
experience? So I mean, I'd pick up 30 little, biodegradable pots if we want to give them the opportunity to actually start the seed. I
Is
mean,
this the right time of year to start them?
Depends on what they are. I also
don't want to set someone up for a dead plant.
What's that?
I wouldn't want to start someone out for a dead plant, but
well, if there's sunflowers, they actually can have a long germination. They can actually be in their pot for a while too. I was just trying to think if it's motivating to have it something to start indoors, and more likely to be used, or
right, rather than like
early
get
or
buried in the
late,
bottom
the
of their
success rate
backpack.
will be the same.
Sure, fair enough.
I don't know. I mean,
that would certainly be a fun hands-on kind of thing. The other pieces that we had talked about, and we don't have to do both of these, but as a like interactive talk about a topic, was around how you get to school. So
right, yes, yeah.
I was thinking of maybe I'll share my screen. Do I still have this tab open? Was to do like simultaneously like a little poll, vote, I don't know, like put a tally mark for how do you get to school, but have that be separated by which school you're at, because I know some of the schools don't have a school bus, for instance. Like I would wonder, do more of the folks at Walton walk or scoot because it has a smaller
travel
neighborhood
distance?
Yeah. So like have folks tell us how they get to school. Maybe they would, I walk in the morning, but I take the bus in the afternoon or whatever. But then have a like a gradient or a scale or something, and have a drawing of each of the ways to get to school, and let folks like try to tell us what they think is the most environmentally friendly of the ways, like rank these top to bottom, Velcro stuck onto a poster board kind of thing. Julie had one similar to that about like, where does our energy come from? And we were going to use that, but she couldn't find it. So I don't know if we want to bother recreate. Like, I feel like we could be doing too many things if we have the how you get to school and flower pots and energy. So maybe
we can just hand out the seeds too. I mean, so if this is a nice similar topic, all three things. So if the seeds are the takeaway, is a way to like a goodie bag, so to speak.
Yeah.
Then that works too. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And I have a neighbor, a very artistic neighbor, already commissioned to draw doodles of these how you could get to school. And I can like get them. Julie has a laminator, and we'll Velcro them up and stuff. And then I think I was hoping to ping Julie about like what the particular energy sources were in the prior version of this. I feel like this one's a little bit harder to grasp through like a doodle, but I didn't see what this was the last time this.
I don't know. Nuclear iconography is often the it's like an atom with like things buzzing around it, is a nuclear symbol for it, versus hydro tends to have like a water drop as a so what helps them make it.
Sure. Right.
And coal has a the smoke out of a smokestack kind of thing.
Yeah. Maybe we have.
I mean, if she gets it, why not?
She said she could not find it. She thinks it may have gone to the dump. So
Got it.
I don't think this particular version still exists, but
So,
we could make something. I'm, I didn't see it, so I'm not quite grasping like what the interactive element
so
of
it,
it is.
are we asked, is it a poll to ask kids which they think is better or where ours are coming from?
I think what she had described was a where's our energy, where do you think our energy comes from? Or like how
So
much
it's,
of our energy do we get from these different things?
well, that's a tough question for a kid to know
I
the
know, I
answer of.
don't know if I even know.
If it was a ranking thing in terms of,
Hmm.
that would be
Like which
different.
of these is the best for our environment or
Right,
which
right. And then of course leads to interesting pros and cons of solar, wind and hydro. Because they're not.
right.
um,
I feel like that might be a very nuanced conversation to have with K through
I was saying, and
1.
under energy, do we get no energy from
Oh,
trash burning?
I know our trash gets burned, but I don't know if that's if we get the energy from it. Wakefield Municipal Gas and Light somewhere has this information though, because I saw it one time. Fuel mix. Oh man, look how quick I was able to find that.
Whoa. By month.
By month.
Wowzers.
Yeah, there you go.
No coal. Woohoo.
That's great. Well, that's a very small solar sliver, isn't it? Oh, but this is from December, which is a not a great month for solar. I wonder what it looks like in June.
There you go.
March and
Well, and I think actually what the story is actually, if we go back a couple years, how much solar has grown, right? Our
yes.
whole the advocacy is that it's an opportunity of growth, even if it was low
Hmm.
to begin with.
Yeah.
And that's before their own building had it and so forth. So
Right. Hmm.
hmm, the non-friendly question. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm still noodling on like what we want to do, like how we would want to make this an interactive thing. Or we could just have a picture of this and like ask kids if they know what these different sources mean or
Right, going to your friend the illustrator, if you were to show the pie chart of, say, January versus July,
Mhm.
we could just have the conversation with the kid is, why do you think it's changed? To understand
Mhm.
that solar varies.
Mhm.
And what are the reactions to it? I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to have a right answer, right? Just to start
Right.
the conversation.
Yeah.
May have the kids then ask their parents, what do you think? Or
Mhm.
because I mean
Yeah.
there are bold charts, so right, with your illustration on top of it to explain the words. It could just
Right.
be an interesting conversation.
Yeah, maybe I'll go through the last handful of months and try to pick two that are very, that like look nice and distinct. But yeah, and like toss some icons on there to make them clearer, and then they can be just a conversation piece. Okay, cool.
I mean, and I think it it's just a good way to inform people about our town. So it's not
Right, because the parents will be walking around with us also, and I think
exactly
that'd be
so.
interesting to, yeah. And that's really cool to see how little fossil fuel there is in there.
Well, they have their goal to reduce it further, so to be starting at a third is
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty cool. What's the latest? Right, I guess it was more than, yeah, still hardly more than a third, even in December. Neat. Okay, cool.
hmm.
All right, let me make a
And
note
what's
on.
also nice about that is percentages, not going into like units of it, like kilowatt hours and all,
Yeah.
so you have to explain all that stuff. So it's
Hmm.
proportion.
Yep. Mm.
Just you flashing up, how do you get to school? Do you read the Boston Globe?
I don't.
All right, I meant to send you, so, Boston Globe magazine on Sunday had, no, I think it was the magazine, not the op-ed, but talked about anti-idling
Mhm.
and, and mentioning school, parents and so forth.
Mhm. Oh, just it kills me just seeing the line of cars waiting to do parent drop off.
Yeah, so it's why no one seems to care about the Massachusetts law, um, referencing the idling law.
Oh, it's a statewide law?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, we have a law, no more than 5 minutes. Unless you're
Mm.
a vehicle that needs to be on for emergency purposes, such
Mhm.
as like the gas and light,
Fire truck or
trucks and
whatever.
stuff
Yeah.
like that, emergency vehicles, ambulances and stuff like that. And that's it, 5 minutes.
Huh. Well, I would hazard to guess that most of I mean, I guess the argument could be made that you were idling, then you moved forward 12 feet, and then you idled some more, and then you moved forward 12 more feet. Like the way those lines are, you were probably only idling in one spot before the line started actually moving for 5 minutes.
I think
And
someone would argue that it's all idling.
I would argue that. Um, but yeah, that's interesting. I wonder, I mean, should we just like print out that headline and a
Well,
link to or a QR code to the link to the article or something if it's not
I
behind a
was
paywall?
wondering, so the tone of it was just, and I just sent you the link, but it was this woman saying she actually's knocked on windows to people saying, can you turn off your car?
Mhm.
And so what kind of a call to action can we say? Do we have anyone out there that wants to champion promoting anti-idling? So,
Yeah.
um, mm,
Yeah, that'd be great.
and even goes into rules by state, like some other states have rules and stuff like that. But it ends with they found a delivery truck driver, um, said something to them, and now they turn off the car between stops.
Well, I think there was like I read some sort of, maybe this is in this article also, but some like myth busting at some point recently
Yes,
about
it
like
mentions that.
there used to be a real sentiment that turning your car on and off was either bad for the car or created just as much emissions as
Mhm.
keeping
Yep,
it on. And that used to be the case, but it isn't anymore.
correct. Just like turning on a light switch used to be that there was no
Mhm.
savings, but now every second matters.
Mhm.
It's a similar but different reason, but same results in
Right.
cars. So you can
Yeah.
turn off your car and
Well, and some cars now
do turn off. Yeah.
do turn off and then they
Yeah.
turn back on when, like, you hear lots of cars starting back up at the
Yes.
intersection and stuff. So I guess if your car is, sorry, I'm just keeping an eye on the cat.
I was wondering, is it the cat or your kid that you're saying? So I was doing that to my dog earlier.
It's the cat. So it's the cat who pees on things, and we've got. Hold on. I don't want you in here right now. We're leaving on a vacation tomorrow, so we have like all of the bags packed behind me, like
Oh,
everything's
yes,
ready
that's a
to
good place
go.
for a cat to get into trouble.
Well, I mean, and he like that is an anxiety producing thing for a cat to see bags where there aren't usually, but it would sure make being ready for leaving for the trip that much harder if he then pees on one of the bags and we have to unpack it and find a different vessel to put things in. So just don't want him being suspicious behind me while I'm not paying attention.
Understandable.
Yeah, so I mean maybe we could even just put up a little poster or something about that, just like if we're having that conversation, let people like think about it and read it. Um, so I'll give a read to that and maybe we can just like print out a headline and QR code for folks to snap and read at their leisure. Is it behind the Globe paywall or is it
I don't know, because I'm
oh, because you're
a
yeah, let me yeah.
subscriber, but um I can print it out and give it to you if you need just to see it, and then have other people have their problem. I mean, we could also just take quotes out of it, quote the article with that if people don't have access to it too.
It looks like it either it's not or maybe I get a certain number of free things per month, but I seem to be able to get to it. Hello, Lily. Oh, you're not on audio yet. Hello, Lily.
Hello.
How are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good. It's nice to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you too.
We were just talking about the STEAM night, the K through 4 STEAM night coming up
Oh,
um,
cool.
at the Galvin. That's on March 14th. Are you planning to attend with your young one?
I hope so. We're returning from vacation the day before, I think. So I hope so. Depends on energy levels and attitudes, but it's on my calendar.
Cool. Sounds good. But given that we won't expect you to participate like at the table.
I probably can't. Yeah, I can't. I don't know. I'm not sure where things are going to be.
Sounds good. We're asking around for who's gonna be there.
Gotcha.
Did you want to hop on only for the couple minutes to approve the minutes from last time?
If that's okay. Sorry, they're not actually
Mhm.
asleep downstairs, so I'm just
Oh,
trying to break away and
I know.
yeah.
Well, then let's hop to that part of the agenda and can I have a motion for approving the minutes from December 18th, 2023?
Motion to approve.
Second, Lily.
Yes.
And Robin, you said you actually had looked at them.
I have no problem saying, yeah, let's move it along.
All right, I approve also. So those minutes are approved.
Yay.
Thank you, Lily.
Yeah, of course.
Appreciate it. Well, we will let you get back to your evening with solo parenting
Fun
kiddos.
evening. Yes.
We
All
talked
right.
morning
Well,
into going to bed early because we have a 7 a.m. flight. So
oh, you're headed
we're
to
waking him up very
Arizona? Yeah.
early.
Yeah.
Yeah, to
Oh,
Arizona.
that's exciting. It's exciting to wake up early to go somewhere like that. So good. You'll enjoy it.
I hope he will feel that way when we wake him up at 5 tomorrow.
We'll have a great trip.
Thank you very much. All
All right.
right. Thanks for
Bye.
hopping on. See ya.
Sure. Bye.
Where are you headed?
Arizona. It's where my dad and stepmom are. So
Nice.
we're hopping over there. Yeah. It feels a little silly to go so soon after spring break, but it's a lot easier to travel right now than during spring break or February vacation week. So cool. All right. Anything else on the Steam night? I think that's
I mean,
plenty.
we're not responsible for a physical table, right? Or any of that kind of.
No, they will have the physical table. I think chairs also. I think there were chairs there also. So yeah, we just bring the stuff.
Okay.
And I've got the bag with all of the our like usual tabling things.
Mhm.
I don't know how many of those we'll want. Like I think we're gonna have these new more interesting stuff, but maybe we'll have like the sign up for composting one handy so that if a parent comes by and you know we talk about
Absolutely,
compost.
right, because if this is their one time they see us, then why not have it available kind of under the table or whatever?
Yeah,
Tucked
yeah.
in
So I'll bring along any of that that feels useful. Um, and then I'll make the signage and stuff,
Mhm.
and you can bring some seeds. Or you have the seeds.
No, Julie has
Julie
seeds.
has the seeds. Okay, I will follow up with Julie to bring the seeds. But yeah, I would think like let's do them as just a giveaway and not
Okay.
start getting people doing dirt. That feels like as as a parent who found a small pot of pebbles and dead bit of plant in my kid's backpack sometime in the last couple of weeks. I think maybe more the
Yeah,
seeds
no, I don't
might
want
have
to.
a better chance if we just send them home in a package. So cool. Okay. Other events. So we had talked with the Kathy the beekeeper,
Yes,
and she has a last name, but she's just Kathy the beekeeper to me. I think we decided on let's do the May June timeframe with the observation hive.
awesome.
So she said she'll get back to us with some possible dates closer to then, which is fine. I did send a note to the library to check in with them that they are okay with us bringing bees in,
Okay.
and I have not heard back. But also we haven't tried to find a date yet, so I think the urgency is off on that one. We talked about doing a fix-it cafe. Were you
Yes.
gonna reach out to someone to the
I don't think I don't know who did it for Melrose. Melissa had the connection, didn't she?
Well, I had a connection to the woman in Melrose who sets them up, but weren't we gonna talk to like the senior center about it?
Oh, yes, that was also discussed. Again, I don't know who the senior center folks are.
I don't either.
So
Maybe that's
Julie
something
would.
Julie was gonna do. Okay.
Um,
I mean, I'm certainly not wedded to it being a thing that happens at the senior center. That was just
no, either, but I actually like that it's not like in the library. Like when if it because Julie mentioned that they're looking for some program ideas and stuff like that. So and that there was like maybe some open space in the building or something. So no, I don't
Right. So
know.
maybe there could be more like keep things longitudinally, not just like fix it if you can fix it in this 2-hour window.
Right.
So worth exploring. And then I have not reached out to Melissa about doing a greenhouse gas inventory thing. We could do that as a round table or
Right. We need her and maybe even Chris if he's still available because they really pulled it together, right? That
yeah. I mean, I don't know if she would be comfortable doing it by herself or if she would want to pull Chris in, but
right.
I'll reach back out to her.
And I mean, I think we'd have to hear from them on timing of does it want to be tied to the next steps? Have they established what the next steps, or do they want to do it prior to knowing the next steps to solicit input of what the next steps are like? What's the good,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't and are they looking for any volunteers to jump on, or is it closed just to, I don't know.
Yeah, I thought some of the next step was to then like write a climate action plan.
Right, but do they need others to join into what that looks like or not?
Good question. I don't know. Okay, I'll talk with Melissa.
Yeah, I think so if we cross committee kind of, learn
Yeah.
from them and then we can help on
Yeah,
the
if there's some
promotion organization and so forth.
right. Yeah. Another possibility I had, and I don't know sort of the right timing on this either, it's not tied to anything necessarily, is I was trained back in the fall on running the En-ROADS simulation. I don't know if you've seen it. Came out of MIT.
Oh, you're training, yeah. Right, that one?
Yeah, so I'm now like I can deliver
Right,
that as a
facilitator,
workshop
yep.
or as a game. Like you can do a sort of role play of it where different people are like, you're assigned to be the fossil fuel industry and you're assigned to be the municipalities and whatever. So you can like do it as a where people play particular parts of it or where you just do it as a sort of a workshop thing. So that might be an interesting one to do with some group. I don't know if that's just put it out at the library and see who shows up, or if we want to like actually try to gather a particular audience.
I don't know, but when you first started describing, I was actually thinking about the high school students.
Mm.
And so I assume it scales to the high school audience as well as an adult audience.
Sure.
And
yeah, I wouldn't do it for fourth graders, I don't think.
right. So, do we join a science classroom or something and have I don't know. At our big group meeting, let's ask the high school students, seeing if they think there's an audience for it or interest. As a way just to try to reach out to different groups.
Yeah, yeah, I like that idea. Cool. Okay. That sounds good. And then the other event related thing is, what do we want to do for Earth Day? It's coming up. It's sooner than later.
And I always said that litter cleanup is always the.
Mhm.
I really was it 2020? Or was it 2021? No, because it was like hard lockdown of COVID that Myra organized, collecting haikus and like photos of folks. Are they all haikus, or was it just she did and I did haikus? It was just a way to like have people give messages that were kind of personal and colorful, and I think
About litter pickup or about Earth
no,
Day?
no, just about
Oh.
Earth Day and the planet.
Oh.
That maybe WCAT. Like we had talked about, putting something in paper to have people write stuff, but we were able to engage a lot of people as a way to
Hmm.
I mean, maybe it's also because of lockdown and people just love being given something fun to do.
Mhm. Hmm.
It's what, mid-April?
Usually it's the 20 something of. When is Earth Day?
The 22nd. So that's April
22nd.
vacation week.
Oh, it's the end of April vacation week.
Well, here, maybe this will help us. There's a theme, though. There's always a theme
Ah,
that
right.
somebody decides. Planet versus plastics.
Hmm.
So can
Right. I
we,
wonder if there are activities that they're already suggesting that we could.
I'm always impressed when people turn plastic and like different plastic around their house into art, sculptures,
Mhm.
clothing, um, to repurpose it as opposed to recycle it.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm always impressed with.
There's a plastic detox challenge. Oh no, please don't play a video. Stop, stop, stop.
Mm,
Just about avoiding single-use plastic, bags, straws, etc. Um, hmm.
Plastic. I mean, there's so many things wrong with plastic. And of course, what people would love it because is just have a black plastic collection day.
Well, and often, if Rep. Libra Garabedian is doing her recycling day,
Right.
we did collect black plastic at one of those, although we're then sort of overrun. So,
So much black plastic. Can we just have a day that we report everyone who's not following the bylaw on plastic in town?
I mean, we can certainly have a whole bunch of posts around Earth Day,
Right.
particularly in the plastic theme. Like I can start gathering them well ahead of time.
Doing a quick scroll of people's suggestions.
Hmm.
All right. All right. Pollinator supporters, clean up plastic from your neighborhood. Talk about how to take plastic out of your kitchen. Plant a tree, wildflower planting.
When are the trees coming from that high school thing?
One of the trees coming for the high school? Is that what you said?
There was a high school,
Oh, I saw someone post something. I was like, I have no idea what that is.
I think I posted it. There was, the high school was trying to offset their footprint, so they're buying a bunch of seedlings, tree request,
And they're gonna put it somewhere where it's not gonna get ruined by the construction project?
replenish. Oh, I think they're gonna give them to you. Like they like give you, I
Oh,
mean, you can plant them wherever you'd like. I think they'd, probably prefer you to plant them not near the school. Um, tree plenish, right? But did it say when they're coming? Mm. Because if those are coming at a particular time, maybe like
although
there's
some of those tend to be around Arbor Day, which
oh,
is like May 1st. I said it with a huge question mark. All right, high school's organizing a drive. You have to, tomorrow's the deadline.
oh,
For
we'll just
sign up.
repost that then.
Order sampling. They have 100 samplings available. You're supposed to plant your sapling by March 30th.
Oh, okay. Well, that's too soon for Earth Day.
Interesting.
I'm just going
Well,
to.
and in some winters, that's actually, you can't dig into the ground, but I guess this year
Deadline is tomorrow.
this year is not a problem. This is a really, oh, this isn't the Wakefield website. I was like, oh, it is. So they have 3 different types of trees they're offering. That's cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, I just reposted it on our Facebook since the deadline is. Anyway, so yeah, that's not an Earth Day thing because that's.
Well, I guess, I mean, come Earth Day, we may want to ask for a, hey, how's your sampling doing, right? Take a photo of how,
Yeah, I mean, could we ask people to like, oh, I can already anticipate the trolling we would get. I was gonna say, like, take a picture of your favorite tree in Wakefield and like tell us why. And maybe it's the tree you just planted, and maybe it's the tree in your backyard, or your favorite tree in the town forest or whatever.
I think those are, well, it's not inappropriate for Earth Day. I mean, that kind of more the Arbor Day kind of focus of the
Yeah.
trees.
Sure.
Hug a tree. What's your favorite tree?
And Arbor Day, you said, is May?
Yeah, Arbor Day is. Oh, my mistake. It is April 26th. So it's a week later.
Oh, that's interesting.
Right. It's a celebration of planting, caring, and climbing trees.
Okay. Well, we can do some stuff around it too. Yeah, I mean, maybe we do either cross promote a litter pickup with the Wakefield Warriors if they're doing one around Earth Day, or
I wonder if we could find a town, like a local business to support, like who can collect the most amount of plastic. Now, sometimes you run the risk of people just taking it out of their own trash cans, but I mean, I think it's a great theme, and sometimes Earth Day's themes are hard to understand, locally, and so, but plastic is
right, yeah,
impactful for everybody.
as a like litter pickup of plastic, or
Well, that's what my first thought was, but just Just thinking, thinking about it, or
I mean, when we do litter pickup just on our block, a good amount of it is plastic,
yeah.
for sure.
Oh yeah, now that I know where you live, yeah, I can imagine that.
Yeah. Straws, it's little nip bottles,
Yep.
many of which are plastic. It's
Oh,
broken
I think
Dunkin'
all nips
Donuts
are
cups.
plastic. Yeah, they're not glass.
Occasionally they're glass,
Oh,
but mostly they're plastic. But yeah, cup straws, like random hunk of a car bumper broke. Like it's a lot of that kind of stuff. Occasionally other things.
I have cigarette butts in my neighborhood.
Oh yes, we have a lot of cigarette butts. My kid seems to think that all cigarettes are cigarette butts. Like if you see someone smoking, he'll say like, oh, they're smoking a cigarette butt, like even if it's a fresh cigarette. They're all butts, I think, because butt is such a
Well, that's a fun word.
it's a fun word. Yeah. Well, and it's like I don't like it kind of. He once like
Good.
yelled at someone on the street for putting their like littering their cigarette butt. He like called them out on the sidewalk on Main
Nice.
Street, and like the person went and like picked their cigarette butt back up.
Good.
Yeah. Good job, little activist. Like you got to be careful. Not everyone's going to respond well to that, but it's do it.
Good thing he's cute.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can get away with that better as a cute 5-year-old than well, or is there like I like the idea of engaging businesses. We're like noodling on the green business stuff also,
Uh-huh.
and like waste reduction and well, certainly following the bylaws, but generally like waste reduction and single-use stuff reduction is part of the aim. I don't know how like is there a way to like help a business try out like I don't know, a business that will get a free coffee if you bring your reusable mug today or
Right.
something.
I mean, the independent coffee houses in town
Mhm.
are more likely, I would think, to
Yeah.
have the authority to make those kind of decisions as opposed to the franchise businesses in town, which
Yeah.
make it corporate.
Hmm. I do also like the idea you mentioned of like making some art out of plastic waste.
I mean, I've seen some amazing things out of even like milk jug bottle caps and stuff.
Mm-hmm. So could we like collect ahead of time and tell people to like collect some of the interesting plastic in your recycle bin for a couple of weeks? We'll meet up at the AmeriCal and do a little like arts and crafts hour or something.
Yeah, do we have anyone in town that's a good art coordinator of that kind of thing? I'm trying to think of.
I mean, maybe would Kid Casso, like,
Oh, I didn't even think. Yeah,
could we see if like we could do a collaboration event with them where, we help gather and bring in a bunch of recycled plastic and they facilitate some sort of art class, art event?
why not? Why not ask, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the cultural center, every first Friday, they do something. I don't know if all the artists that are in there are they necessarily Wakefield residents, and
Yeah.
I the one or two times I've been tends to be 2D,
Mm,
photos and paintings, and I'm trying to think of someone who's more 3D,
mhm.
but it could be, well, total ignorance on my part of what um we have folks out there. Do you know do you go to kid clubs? No, you're not in a relation with them either.
No. But I could certainly reach out now.
I was trying to think of, the farmer's market manager. If either she or have a suggestion, because she's
Hmm.
used to own the business was down the street that's periwinkle color, that was artsy.
Oh, mhm.
Um, I'll make a note saying. Okay, well, let's chew on this Earth
Yeah.
Day plastic options, ideas.
And let's ask the group, including the students, at the next
Mhm.
big meeting. Make a note of that. Sweet. Mm. What day? That's the 14th, right? Cool. All right. Those are all of the event date sort of things that I had on my mind. Did you have any others of those?
I don't think we have to do too much planning, but if we wanted to have a table at the farmer's market again,
Oh, yes,
she
absolutely.
has already scheduled some weekends for other events, so might as well get on, notify her of interest. I mean, I think it
Yeah.
was successful, at least just to be there.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely. Yeah. Do we want
with
to do
nothing else
one
to,
or a
what's
few?
that?
Do we want to do just one or were we looking to do a couple?
Last year, did we do one or two?
I think we did one, but I couldn't make it. So
Well, I was gonna say, if it was more than two, I think we're just gonna have a hard time getting enough volunteers for the 4 hours.
yeah.
So,
Well, yeah, then let's find one. Do we want to like find dates we're available first or see what dates there's a space for us?
I would check with her and so it starts in mid-May. And then
Oh, really?
runs
I
through
thought
the
it
end of
started in
October.
like
What's
June.
that?
I thought it started in June.
Oh, hold on. I just put it on my calendar and then I forget about it. And I just show up and set it up. You're right, June 15th. Wow, it's late. All right.
Right. I always feel like it starts to get nice out and I expect that it has started.
Yeah.
And then there are a couple of weeks that go by and I'm like, oh, it still hasn't started yet.
Well, okay, so it is, so I would say not opening day because
Mm.
but maybe either something in June or then in September, because during school vacation-ish time, I don't know, sometimes it's harder for just to get enough volunteers who's not away or something like that.
Yeah. We're away for June 29th for a week and a half. So
Nice.
yeah. So we could do I could do the second one probably.
Oh, the second one's the Strawberry Festival she's scheduled, so we could be there for that, whatever that means.
Pretty cool. The 22nd.
Yeah,
Is there space?
I don't know. It's a first annual Strawberry Festival, so
Cool.
I mean, in the past, they've always reserved a table for, should they call it the nonprofit table? So we would be taking that. So let's ask for it and see what happens.
Sure. Would you want to reach out and ask?
Yeah.
Cool. I mean, we could do something strawberry related.
I know that's where my brain is going. So
Yeah. Cool. All right. Cool. Any other event things? There are other
and then so we have and have not had a table at Festival by the Lake.
Yeah, when is that?
That's usually around the same time as the start of the farmer's market, which has been problematic for some overlap. It is June 8th this year, so it would not overlap.
Yeah.
Because it would be the week before. Because there tends to be a whole cluster of town tables.
Yeah. Um,
Let's ask the big group what people think about value of us being there.
I generally think it's worthwhile. What's the
I
time?
agree, but yeah, to see if if we haven't, interested people volunteering for it. Oh, I already have it on the calendar. Don't me.
What's the time on that one? Is that
10 to 4. So it's longer.
right? So we need several volunteers to make it worthwhile.
Mhm.
And the farmer's market's 9 to 1, is that right?
What's that?
Farmer's market is 9 to 1, is that right?
Yes.
Logged the both of those to ask the big group when we're in the next big group meeting. Cool. Cool. Good. I'm glad you brought those both up there. They would have snuck up on us being June. June will be here before we know it. The next item that I had on the agenda was just whether there was anything in particular we wanted to do on the engagement front around the zoning, the MBTA zoning thing. I was planning to bring it to an ESC meeting to see if the ESC would endorse it or support,
Oh, if we motion for it, yeah. I mean, we've done that to other warrant articles, such as the opt-in and so forth. So
well, the opt-in we brought.
that's true. But
But
like
we had for other things like the energy
park and stuff like that. So yes, I think you should in order to do that, Melissa really should have it on the agenda as a vote if we have a motion to vote. So yeah, that's a good idea.
I told her I intended to bring it.
Oh, okay.
Next meeting.
Because so town meeting is when? The first? No. Where are you?
April 8th? No, April.
I'm not looking far enough in the evening.
29th, April 29th.
Okay. So we have the March meeting and the April meeting if we want to do the vote. So, which I have no idea why not. I mean, one of the other weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a matter of like, we should be able to spell out what the environmental, like why sustainability would care. I think the obvious piece is more people living near transit and downtown means more walking and less cars.
Yes.
Or less car usage. Is there more to it?
I'd be careful to say that there's less cars because that may or may not be the case, but the convenience of having options.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are there other factors worth bringing up from an environmental standpoint?
I mean, you could do argument that a building with 4 units has some efficiencies on the carbon and, embodied carbon of the construction, and go into
Mhm.
that. Because you tend to have efficiencies on
Mhm.
not everyone agrees with those arguments, but that is one you can make. I have to chew on that more. I hadn't really ask it exactly that way.
Okay. Well, think about it. I'm gonna sort of gather some thoughts about that and plan to either bring it to this upcoming March meeting or the one after.
Well, you could, maybe we talk about it in March and may or may not vote until the next one, but why not talk about it now, right?
Sure,
in
yeah.
case people have ideas on how the motion should be written or so forth. Is that?
Yeah, yep. Sounds good. And then anything else related to that? If the ESC endorses it or supports it or whatever, we can post that as a statement. ESC has voted to endorse that or whatever. I don't know if there's more that we would do as a committee related to that.
Unless we have something super unique and compelling, I guess I think they should be really getting their info off the planning board. In the event that there's changes, then there's no risk of having miscommunication of what things are. So us constantly pointing to folks that if you need to learn more, here's how to do it, is kind of setting us up for success on that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then there's no confusion of, who's putting it forth to the town meeting.
Right. Yep. Another agenda item I had was just other channels for engagement. Are there other things we want to pursue? We talked last time about the paper post or newspapers. Yeah.
Haven't heard anything lately. Like nothing's jumped out thought wise.
An interesting channel I thought of but haven't figured out quite what the right approach is. In thinking about, so I was getting some info from Gas and Light on solar installations, like how many
I saw
homes
the percentage and
added
number.
solar. Yes, we added, I think it was 16 houses, 13 houses.
Something.
Small double-digit houses added solar this past year. And I thought about, like, could we make a pamphlet or a electronic pamphlet or something to give to roofers, right? Like, the best time to do solar is right after you get a fresh new roof.
Right.
Could we ask the roofing companies in town to, share this info that we've compiled that is like, solar is great. Here's where to find info from Municipal Gas and Light. Like, I don't know if Municipal Gas and Light maybe couldn't do that.
Well, if they can't, then we can't. I don't know if they can't or if it can't, but I don't know how our rules would be done. But are there roofing based companies here? There's just general contractors in town and handyman, but is there?
There's certainly a few, yeah.
Is there?
Or that at least are nearby. I mean, there are certainly some roofing names that I see around town all the time and who have signs at the baseball, like at the soccer field and stuff. They're like names around town.
Got it.
Like, I don't know if they'd be willing. And I think I would imagine that it's okay as long as we're just providing them with information and not favoriting that we are like.
Yeah, you can't say right.
We can't say that they're our
who to
favorite
install.
roofers.
But yeah, are you talking to your clients about solar?
Yeah. Just struck me as a way we could help people, to be thinking about that.
Yeah, well, through the green businesses, do you guys have any of those? Or more of the businesses you guys have talked to had been retail oriented?
So far the ones that we've talked to well, there certainly haven't been any roofers that we've like gotten survey input from. So
Okay, yes, curious. Yeah, when I needed a roof repair, the guy wasn't local, or wasn't Wakefield, so I still call him local, but.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I think the one, like, I'm at least thinking like the ones that bother to advertise in town, even if they actually reside in Reading or Melrose or somewhere, might still be, interested to share information if we ask them.
Why not? Yeah, my brain does go to, we've gotten some, and I reported to Tom, like false solicitations of people that have relationships, to do solar in town.
Mm-hmm.
And it was misleading to think that the way they were presenting themselves. So I wonder if that's turned some people off of just things in general.
Off of solar generally?
Yeah, just because it was, I know anytime you have a bad experience, some people are just completely, don't want to deal with it.
Right, and we obviously wouldn't recommend any particular installers, but we could at least let folks know that there's, information on the gas and light department site about their rebate, and here's, what the state and federal rebates are or incentives are currently.
Right.
Some basic and non company specific information.
Right, and are they still accepting applicants for community solar? Or do they
I
sell
think
out?
so. Oh, I don't know. I don't think the deadline has passed, but I don't know if they would have like cut off applications after
They
a
had
certain.
they had a limit on quantity.
Yeah.
Maybe Sharon will be telling us.
Yeah, probably. Where's the thing where we join a thing? Here's the recording. That's the Zoom. Where's the actual here's how you sign up. That's the thing for the Zoom. I know I posted at some point. Maybe it was like, do you have a roof? Here's aha. Nope. That's just still about the Zoom. Yep, no idea. Yes. Their website would be the best place to look. Oh, here we go. Click here to watch our video. No. To learn more and how to sign up, more info here. Fill out a sign up form. Here's the page to do it. So I guess they haven't taken down the form to sign up. Selection is done on a first come, first served basis. So I assume they're still enrolling.
Okay. I mean, because what's nice about the community solar option is that those who don't own a roof, because they're renters or in multifamily, then there's ways for them to support it.
Right.
And going to the other initiatives of thinking of how to support multifamily folks.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I'll post about that again sometime soon. That to the list. Was there a deadline though? I didn't see one.
Well, maybe you're right that it was first come, first served, and so if we aren't seeing
Mhm.
anything, that means that there's still slots.
Mm-hmm. I'll post about it after our next ESC meeting. After we hopefully hear from Sharon about whether that's still rolling. But it was very exciting to see how many people went to the sessions about it.
Right.
So at least there's a lot of interest. So that's good. Cool. Any other, oh, I guess our next agenda item is pick a time for the next meeting. For the calendar, for the typical calendar, we would be Wednesday, March 27th.
I should be able to do that.
I might be at a thing, but maybe I would be back in time. Well, let's plan for it.
Right.
And I'll check with Julie as well. Wednesdays tend to be the best day for you, yes?
No, actually,
Oh.
just Thursday, I either have the full committee or every other month on a Thursday, I have a client.
Got it. If Wednesday doesn't work, does Thursday the 28th work?
Yes.
Okay. Sounds good. I will check with Julie. I'm just, the event that I might be at might be an event she might also be at because it's the Greentown thing. So
It's a
if
what?
we're-
Oh,
uh,
it's at her
Green-
office.
yeah. So if so that date might not be good for the both of us, and then maybe we do the Thursday instead. Cool.
I'll be coming from a conference, but I will be home by then, since it's just in Rhode Island.
Okay. Sounds good. Any other items not anticipated?
No. No.
Okay.
Have a great
Well,
trip.
nice. Thank you. I will motion to adjourn at 8:43.
Second.
So be it. We are adjourned.